Hey everyone. Hopefully it's recording. Yep. Okay, it's recording. Hey everyone, it's Matt C. Normally I just kind of do audio stuff. I don't really do the video component. I used to do it a lot for Kyrie Book 1. I did it a lot. I did these things called drive time updates. Maybe you guys saw it if you've been following me for a little bit. And I just kind of video update everyone from my car, usually. For my campaigns. And now I'm kind of thinking, like, I do kind of like to get back into the video aspect, but I don't really like to sit in front of my computer and do it. And honestly, the only time I have to do that sort of thing is like from like 10:30 or 11 p.m. onward, and I just don't have the energy to do them. So the drive time slot of like lunch break, which is what I'm doing now, or driving in the morning works, but I don't really want to do the drive time update sort of thing anymore with the campaigns. So I thought maybe I'd just do a video, but I can talk to you guys for the video. And it's not live because I found there's no real point in doing it live because I can't really look at the phone, can I? And I can't really engage with you guys. So I might as well just record this and then engage with you in the comments. So this is the video. This is the Patreon video, requested Patreon video for this month, which is April. Today's the 19th, and I've been thinking a lot about weird campaigns, right? Stuff outside of the norm for particularly for comics, for crowdfunding, and like kind of strange story concepts, particularly strange art concepts, art styles, because typically it's the art that's gonna sell you on a comic book campaign. That's what's gonna hit you, or visual creatures. You understand how that goes. And and I've just been looking at a lot of Kickstarters and Indiegogos and just seeing there's just so much out there. It's what's the term where it's orders of magnitude? There's orders of magnitude more campaigns out there than years previous, and that continues to expand, of course, as printing never gets easier. I mean, it's never been easier than now. Putting together campaigns, and particularly networking, has never been easier. So networking is kind of what I want to talk to you about. Apologies if you can hear my LaCroix rolling around on the passenger seat floor. So weird campaigns, right? What are they? They're stuff outside of what people typically expect a comic book to look like or read like. Those are kind of typically harder sales, right? You could think of the equivalent of if you're just looking at a menu, and you go to a restaurant. Just imagine kind of like I don't know what your lockdown situation is, but just picture yourself going to a sit-down restaurant, right? Okay, maybe you're wearing the mask for 5 seconds as you walk in, and then the moment you sit down, we all know that the COVID can't get you when you sit down. So you sit down, you take off the mask, you pick up the menu, and you start looking at stuff, and you see cheeseburger, you see pizza, then you see avocado spaghetti, right? And maybe avocado spaghetti is actually the thing that you would like the most, but it's going to take a little bit of extra, right? It's going to take, here's the key, the network component. It's going to take someone, let's say the waitress comes up and she's speaking to you, and she relates to you on a personal level about how avocado spaghetti is actually better than the burger and the pizza on that menu. And because of that relational connection, the trust and believability that she's able to convey, secondhand from the chef and firsthand from herself to you, and secondhand also just representing the restaurant that you already chose to invest in and spend your time and money at. Maybe you're at least more willing to try the avocado spaghetti, right? I wish I'd come up with something, because maybe that still works, because the whole point is that that's not initially appealing, because that's not what you expect when you look at a menu when you want to sit down at a restaurant. That's usually, gag reflex. You hear about studies about sorry, I'm at this light and it's being weird. Maybe it's your favorite dessert is New York style cheesecake, but if it's colored, if you put food coloring in it that makes it look very, an unappealing orangey brown puke color, and it's been labeled orangey brown puke, it's not going to look appealing. It's going to smell different. Mentally, your brain's going to be impacting how your olfactory senses are interpreting that data, and if you try and taste it, it's not going to taste as good. Or that's a weird metaphor, but let's just say if you pick up something that looks like green beans and it turns out to be avocado spaghetti, that's going to be assaulting. That surprise is going to assault your senses, right? You're going to be less likely to enjoy it because you expected one thing, you got another. And that's a healthy, obviously, survival instinct to be able to get what you're expecting. If you're not getting what you're expecting, there may be danger involved, right? So all that to say, weird comic book campaigns are interesting, and there's a lot of ways of selling them, but I guess it's just kind of like looking at the landscape. I see 1,000 campaigns on 1,000 hills, and each of those hills are relatively isolated. There's not very many roads up or down them. I don't know how these people are networking, but I do know that when I see a weird campaign on Kickstarter or Indiegogo, it's usually going to, I'm not often going to be surprised by the pull, the sort of crowdfunding pull that campaign can take in. If it's presenting itself as a campaign that's already within the kind of expectation rubric of what people normally expect from a comic book or from that particular crowdfunding site. Obviously, Indiegogo and Kickstarter have slightly different audiences and slightly different expectations from those audiences. But if it's not appealing to the widest popular possible audience for that particular platform, if it's obviously not done professionally, and professionalism is a subjective term in terms of art, right? It has to. Professionalism has a lot to do with anticipating and managing customer expectations on what something looks good when it's finished, But if the creative team is not anticipating that in a very fine-tuned way, so they're not giving you what you expect already from a comic book and what you already spend your money on, but just with a creative twist in terms of the subject. Maybe it's superheroes, but well, I don't understand superheroes, so I can't even use that analogy. Maybe it's a cool gunslinging cowgirl, but how about Confederacy zombies? Confederacy Frankenstein? Well, I don't know what it was, but I saw that recently. I think that was on Indiegogo. That's kind of hitting a Western meets zombies in a way that I think is clever, but it's not. It needs to hit my expectations, and it does. It does so in a professional style, which is it's meeting my expectations for what a comic book should look like when it's completed and finished. And it's also just kind of taking two genres, merging them together to give me something, avocado spaghetti, right? But the only way, and it's good that I remembered Confederacy. See, I'm saying if you're in these circles, you already understand. You know the campaign already, and that's because of the networking component. Because the equivalent of that waitress has already gone out and sold people on that avocado spaghetti a lot, right? So they go on live streams, they network more. You don't have to network as much if you are delivering a product that is already meeting expectations. And from what I can tell from that particular campaign, they're kind of in the middle ground of this, where I've seen them on some live streams and stuff like this. I've seen some buzz about it a little bit. It's a little outside the wheelhouse, and Indiegogo, of course, is like a quarter the size of an audience, so that means 4 times as much a hard work has to be put in to get the same kind of reach that a popular Kickstarter campaign can do. If given other parameters in terms of audience expectation, but a campaign that is I don't want to say generic, but it's mostly defined as meeting expectations instead of surprising your expectations, I guess. If it's mostly meeting those expectations, less legwork room has to happen. You just have to pay for visibility. But if you're surprising those expectations, you can't just do visibility. You can't just tell. You can't just put up a bunch of ads for avocado spaghetti. You have to have a dialogue with your potential customers about what the product is and how it's, and you have to be asking questions and listening to answers on what they like, and be able to navigate that in real time, which is important because that's what live streams do. You can tell when someone's lying to you in real time better than you can in a pre-recorded video. So it's just something I think about with Kyrie in particular. I think we meet expectations, but mostly I think we're defined as someone who's surprising people's expectations. So that requires me to have more dialogue with people. I have to do the waiter thing. I have to build a relationship of trust where people, can feel that if they, ask me, hey waiter, just get me the special today. I've already gotten the special a couple times before, and I trust you. I might see something strange on the menu that you're going to be getting me, but I trust that you understand what my palate is as the customer. You understand what I like and I don't like, and you're going to surprise me, but you're going to meet my expectations just in a way that I wasn't anticipating. So that's kind of what that kind of relational dynamic needs to be in order to be successful outside of the typical expectation meeting campaigns. So that's kind of it. I'm at my destination. What do you guys think about what I'm talking about? You don't have to dialogue with your potential customers as much if you're defining your campaigns as meeting expectation. You have to dialogue more, and you have to listen and talk more with potential audiences if you are surprising their expectations. It's kind of maybe that's a no-brainer, but that has big implications towards how people sell their campaigns, how they market them, their approaches to marketing. They have to be more of a dialogue-centric marketing campaign where they're going on host shows and talking to people more. If they have a surprising campaign, they don't have to do that as much. They can just pay for Facebook ads if they're defining themselves as meeting expectations. So that's kind of it. Let me know what you think. So like I said, this is hopefully this is surprising you, but it's also an expectation meeting Patreon video. So I do this monthly, And if you have anything that you'd like to see, you know, $1 a month gets you the right to ask for something, and then I'll make a video for you. So thanks for checking us out, and check out Wild Tales of I almost said Kyrie, which is perfectly acceptable if you want to call it that, so long as you know how to spell it. So you can find it on Indiegogo, but you don't even have to know how to spell it. You can just find it in the link below. But Wild Tales is doing really strong. We're at 4.5K right now, and you know, might hit about 6 perhaps before the end of the campaign. I don't think I'll be extending, but I will be going in demand until we fulfill this summer, it looks like. So yeah, thanks for checking out this video. I look forward to your thoughts.